Hi, Aunt She. How are you? I'm only going to come on for a few minutes. Everly had her show tonight. Oh my gosh, it was so cute. Oh my gosh, she did such a good job. Then I'll go tomorrow night with my son and his wife and my best friend. And we'll see it again. I'm doing okay. Wasn't quite tired enough to go to sleep yet. So I thought I'd come on for a few minutes. Just see what everybody's doing. Hey, Sands. And she, are you, I can't remember, are you in the UK or are you here in the States? Oh, okay, you're in the States. I'm starting to get tired, but I wasn't quite tired enough and I wasn't awake enough to do anything. So the easiest for me was just to get on for a few minutes. I know probably most people are sleeping because it's probably 3 3:15, 3:30. Actually, I have so much to do. I just keep looking around thinking, okay, you got to do this, you got to do that, and I don't do anything. Your name is Sharon. Hi, Sharon. What time is it where you're at, Sharon? Oh, do you ever do that? You look around and you see so many things that have to be done in the house, and you think, oh, I get tired before I even get started with it. Just looking at it. That's where I'm at. Oh, you do? Well, thanks. Did you see the new one I put up today? The lemon cake. I made a regular size lemon cake and a small one. Thank you for watching. Yeah, I'm not kidding. I'm looking around. I am not joking. I'm looking around in this room thinking, okay, all right, something needs to be done here because it's driving me nuts. And just the thought, it's like, okay, where do I start? Where do I start? And then I just think, forget it. Hi, Denise. Do you really? You're in Louisville, Kentucky? That's cool. Yeah, that is what I'm doing. I'm thinking, all right, something's got to get done here. And I do nothing. But when I have things to do, like today, okay, Everly had her play tonight, and I got a little bit done. But tomorrow, since Jeremy and Wendy are coming out, and we're going to go to dinner at 4:30, I always hate to get started on something that I know is going to take me hours and hours to complete. So I don't want to start it. And then Wednesday, I'll probably try to get in here and clean up. But then I got to do another video for another DIY. But, well, I may have to forward the DIY and get stuff done in this room. And then hopefully Friday, do a video. That's the only thing I can think of how to do it. Because when I get started, I don't like to stop. So I know that if I have somewhere to go, I won't even start something usually because I hate stopping it. Ugh, ugh, I'm yawning. Is your weather hot where everyone is? Today was nice. I think tomorrow's going to be nice too. It hasn't gotten to where it's so terribly hot to where you just, oh, God. But you know what scares me? You want to know what really scares me? Since the cooler weather has pretty much stayed pretty constant. I mean, yeah, we've had a few days that were really hot, but more than not, it's been, you know, pretty nice. A lot of times when that happens, that means we're going to have a hot winter. And I hate it. Last winter was not cold. It was not a cold winter. And I have a feeling that's going to happen again this year now because it's taken us so long to get into summer weather. Because you figure we're almost into June. Now I could be wrong, and I hope I'm wrong. I really hope I'm wrong because I want a cold winter. Hi Sherry. It's 3:30 in North Carolina. Can't sleep. It's been raining here. It's 80s and 90s. So it's humid then, Sherry, with the rain, but it being so hot. Do you? Yeah, my friend, my childhood friend, made that for me for my 50th. She's since passed away, but yeah, I really like it. Those are my favorite colors, the purples and the greens and the cream. Yeah, I don't like the humid, especially when it's up into the 80s and the 90s and you've got that humidity. It's like, oh, you get out of the shower and you think, I got to go back in. Probably because it's so humid you can't sleep. Or do you have the air conditioning on, Sherry? We haven't had real humid weather yet. I'm sure it's coming, but I'm not looking forward to it. Oh, yeah, sticky and the pollen. So do you get the pollen where it comes in real thick in your house too if you leave a window open? It was in the 90s and humid this past weekend. You do have your AC on? Oh, see, I would love the rain as long as I didn't have the heat with it. But it's probably real green there, isn't it, Sherry? Must be. Pretty dry here. I did a live earlier today before I went into Everly's play. And where her school is, there's hills, and those hills are so flippin' dry. I mean, it looks like hay. Instead of grass, it looks like hay on these big hills. But I'll tell you what, it's like a tinderbox because you let one little bit whether it be lightning or an arson or whatever, that stuff goes up like no other. And that's what's so scary. Has anybody been watching anything good? Any good movies? You know what movie I want to see? And I am not a fan of Tom Cruise. I never have been. Well, he was okay in some things, but anyway, my daughter that passed, she loved Top Gun and Officer and a Gentleman. Those were a couple of her very favorite movies. So I almost want to go just because she loved Top Gun so much. She used to ask me to watch it with her. So I think I'm going to go to see that. I heard that it got some pretty good reviews. It's just coming out, but it has some good reviews. So I may go see that. Hi, Lisa S. How are you? Trees are so huge and full. I just don't see how they can keep getting taller and taller. Oh, I bet, Denise, it's so probably nice and green. I mean, we've got green, but, on the trees and stuff. But the hills get real dry, real dry. Oh, and then our wonderful governor, he's saying that there's going to be a what do you call that? They're going to put God, I can't think. I can't think of the right word. But anyway, a limit on our water. Remember I told you, some of you that follow me on my lives, that, this was probably 4 years ago, 5 years ago. And we had where we could only use so much water and you could not use it for anything, like washing a car or anything like that. Well, my car was filthy. I mean, honestly, I'm not joking. And I thought, I have got to rinse this car off. So I waited until it was like 8:30 or 9. It was dark out. And I rinsed off my car real quick, and then I turned off the hose, and then I washed it down real quick, and then I rinsed it off. And you should have seen me doing this. I mean, if I could see myself, I would probably crack up, because I was looking around thinking, oh God, is anyone going to see me? But I had to get all the dirt off my car. And I did it really, really quick. But nevertheless, you feel like, oh God, somebody watching me? I'm washing my car. Oh, heaven forbid. Jeez. So I have a feeling that's what's coming up pretty soon. When they ration the water. Gas out here, oh, right where I live, it's $6.11. But in LA, close to Hollywood and Santa Monica, some gas stations, it's $9 a gallon, Sherry. $9 a gallon. You're going to watch it when it comes out? Yeah. So it's $4.30 in North Carolina. Now that's what it was when things were normal here. Yeah, now we're going, like I said, over 6. And then in LA, certain places, it's 9. Hi, Bitty Boo. How are you, hon? Oh, I couldn't sleep. I wasn't too tired yet because I just got back from Everly's play, and I ate something, and then I was sitting here and I thought, you know what? I'm not, well, now I'm getting tired, but I wasn't before, and I thought I'll just go on live for a little bit because I wasn't awake enough to start a project or to do anything, but I wasn't tired enough to go to sleep yet. It cost you 75 to fill up your car. Yeah, 2 years ago it was 28. And it's 4:30 there in North Carolina for gas. It's almost 3 a.m. there. Yeah. I mean, I should go to sleep because I do have to get up early just to get regular stuff done. But I have a couple tomatoes finally starting to grow in my tomatoes, but I don't know about my peppers. I don't know if they're ever gonna, or my cucumbers. I mean, I'm getting the blooms, but no cucumbers yet. My basil's doing great, and so is my rosemary. Oh, it's crazy. The gas is crazy. It's nuts. I feel so sorry for people that have to drive any distance to work. I mean, oh my gosh. I mean, so much of their salary, especially if you have a car that's a gas hog. Can you imagine? I can't even imagine. What am I going to be working on next? Well, actually, I I poured a lot of plaster of Paris, and I did clay into molds. So I think my next video is going to be molds and taking them out of the molds because I already filmed, pouring the plaster of Paris and some of the clay, and then I'm going to take them out of the molds. And then the next one will probably be painting some of the molds, and then I'll probably do ice cream, banana splits, sundaes. What else? I'll do a few little things as far as fake food for the 4th of July because I got to get on that pretty soon, like next week. And so that's probably what I'll be doing. Like I said, the one app you need to get is Tubi. It's TUBI, and it's free. You don't pay anything, and it has a lot of movies and regular stations too, like CBS and I think CMT and others. But man, they have a lot of good movies, old movies, more. I don't know how new because I haven't really looked for new, but a lot of good old ones. And it's free. You have to go to the dentist at 11. Oh, I get like that too, kind of, Sherry. You just get anxious about it. Oh, that's exactly what's happening, Sherry. We didn't get that money for nothing. That money's got to be paid back. That's, yep. Hulu does too, yeah. You have to drive over 2 hours? Oh my gosh, that's awful. That is awful. Nothing is for free. That's right. You never get anything for, they make it sound like that, but you never get anything for free. You're going to pay it somewhere. I've always been very lucky. Any job I've ever had, I've lived very close to wherever I've worked. I mean, when I worked at the grocery store for years, it was right down the hill from me. I mean, literally, it took me not more than 4 minutes, if that, to get to work. I mean, literally down the hill. Then I moved, not from my house, but to the other store. Then it took me a while, and oh my gosh, I hated that drive because it was a very congested way I had to go. And there were so many accidents every single day. I mean, it was just nuts. So I did that for 3 years. But other than that, everywhere I've worked relatively close. So I've never had to spend a lot of money on gas. Have you ever heard of Pete? And I forgot the other one's name. No. Is it a channel? Yes, Sherry, I have. Now you're talking the little one, right? I have TV and Hulu, and all of them on Fire Stick. Oh, really? That's cool. I don't have a smart TV downstairs. I have a little one up here, but my other one's still working. So until it goes out completely, but man, I'm telling you what, that TV has lasted forever. And I'm not kidding. But when I do get a new one, I'll still get a Samsung because that's what this one is downstairs. But I'll get the smart TV. And then I think it's a lot cheaper. Then you don't have to do the cable if you don't want, right? You can just do like the Fire Stick or whatever and get all the other channels. That's what my sons do. They said, Mom, you need to get that. And then, because they, both of them, well, actually, you know what? I think all of my kids now got off cable as far as for the TV. I mean, they still have their, for their computers, but for the television, they opted out of that and they just got the, well, I guess it's Fire Stick or whatever, where they can put it through and get the other stations like Hulu and what's the other one? Hulu and I can't think of them. Well, you know what I'm talking about. And like Prime and Disney. And I think some of them have the Apple TV. Well, and that's the thing, Denise. I don't watch half of the cable stuff. I really don't. I don't watch TV that much anymore. I mean, I still do certain things, but on a whole, it's like you say, I mean, there's not a whole lot I'm watching on it, and cable is so doggone expensive. Roku, yes, that's right. That's another one you can stream through, I think. You can get YouTube with a recorder. I'm thinking about trying a free week. You can get YouTube TV. Well, you know what? I watch a lot of another thing. YouTube has a lot of free movies. A lot. And so I watch those if I want to see a movie, you know? Oh, yes. Yes, yes. I know who you're talking about, Sharon. You're talking about Peep This, Y'all, the one that does the faux food? Yeah. Betty Boo, I mean, really, it's a lot of people are starting to get away from the cable because, I mean, they just raise the prices and raise the prices. And then a lot of times the cable, you know, for whatever reason, it'll go down. And I'll call them and I'll say, I don't want to be charged for this time that it was down. I mean, that's how nitty gritty I get. It's like, you know what? You're charging so much. I'm going to call you out every time that cable goes down. You're not going to charge me for it. Yeah, she's good. I like Cindy. She's a nice girl. I remember when I first started with making the fake food, and I'm talking years ago. Actually, I still have the first thing the first thing I ever made, and I show it sometimes and I keep it deliberately, you know, first of all because it's the first thing I ever did. And secondly, just to show people, you know. Well, anyway, there was no one that did the fake food. I mean, you could not find anything. And then I finally found, which she's a good friend of mine now, is Dawn from the Pink Tree. And her and I, you know, we converse quite a bit. And she sent me different molds and stuff. And so once I found her, it was like, oh, that's great. Because the things that she did are the things that I exactly what I wanted. And so then I would kind of spin my own stuff from that. You know what I mean? Put your own twist on it. Now, people, I mean, there is fake food everywhere. I mean, everywhere. So I consider her and me the OGs because there was not a lot of people that did it. Not at all. You watch HGTV? Those are the only reasons I hang on to cable, but I don't feel it's worth it anymore. It really, Denise, it's getting ridiculous. I mean, seriously. Okay, Sherry, good night. Good luck at the dentist. Oh, yeah, you know what's funny, Dana? You're not going to believe this, but I did make some peeps, and it got so late of Easter. Now, okay, let me go back. I had made peeps the year before, okay? And I thought, okay, good. You know, I'm going to take them out because I already had some video made up of it. And then I started doing other things this Easter. And then I thought, okay, I got to get those peeps out so I can start painting them and putting them, you know, into my stuff and my decor. And again, it was like, oh my gosh, I ran out of time again. So I've had peeps for 2 years and I have not yet shown them. And as a matter of fact, I got one of the not the bunny, but the oh, you know, the duck. And so I was messing with that, and I made a the duck peep. And so this coming Easter, I will have them done to to share the DIY. And that's and that's my problem. I get so many things in my head that I want to do, and I don't have enough time to do all of them. And so they take the back seat. And then the next year, it's like, I've got to get that stuff out so I can get them done. What I've got to do is I've got to just really make myself get out the other stuff and do that first, is what I have to do. I got to get more disciplined on that. Sharon, I wouldn't pay it. I would call and find, make sure you find out or look back on the days that you didn't have that cable and tell them, I did not have this for, how many days, and I'm not paying for it. So go back in retro, whatever you got to do, and take it off my bill. Because they don't mind charging us more. So you know what? When I don't have what I'm supposed to have, you better believe I'm going to let them know it. I'm relentless when it comes to stuff like that. Because the way I look at it is like what I just said. You're bold enough to, charge me all that money, and then something goes awry and you're still going to charge me the same amount? I don't think so. I'm not, no, I did not have what you're offering, for whatever, whether it's hours or days or weeks. What now? I just started doing the face, and I tasted 2 little cupcakes, and they look, I'm surmising you made 2 little cupcakes and they look like crap. And I would love to have a peep mold. Well, how I did my peep, I took a real peep. If that's what you're talking about, the peep at Easter, I took a real peep, and I took a pencil and I drew around it. And then I rolled out some of the clay, and then I just put that paper on top of it and cut around it. That's how I made my mold. And then the chick mold, that one was really easy just to freehand by looking at the real chick peep. And that one was really easy to just kind of copy it. But I'll do a video on that next year for sure. Have you ever seen, I don't know what, have you seen Denise? But I definitely would, if you ever have your internet shut down, you track how long that's down. And like I said, I don't care if it's hours. You call up and let them know and tell them to deduct that from your bill. I'm just taking my hair out. Ouch, my clip. Do you ever get headaches when you have your clip in? Man, my head hurts sometimes when I do that. I don't wear my hair down a lot because it gets so hot. I might wear it down tomorrow night. I don't know. It's just easier for me just to pull it up. You were going to make some giant peeps. Oh, you could make them. You know what you could make them out of? If you're going to make the real big ones. And I did this with the gingerbread. Oh my gosh, probably, I don't know, 4 years ago, 3 years ago. And I just, well, and it's on one of my videos, but I took the salt dough, that you get from the flour and the salt and the water. And I rolled out a big piece of that and kept it kind of thick, not real thick, but like maybe half inch. And I drew out a gingerbread and I made a real big one. It was over 12 inches tall. And you could do the same thing. You could take a copy, just go on to Google and look at a drawing of a peep, size it up, to whatever size you want, and then print it out, and then just trace around, cut it out and then trace around it on your salt dough, and then you can make big ones. Well, I don't care if your lines were messed up or not. That's not your fault. They can mess up the lines or do whatever they want. They're responsible for that. That's not your problem. So you deduct that. You take those hours and say, I don't care what the problem is. That's not my deal. I'm paying you to give me my cable, and that cable isn't working, so I want you to deduct it. That's probably the time I'm probably the most not nice, is when it's something to deal with that. If I think that I'm being jerked around, I don't care in what aspect. My philosophy is always, if you're bold enough to jerk me around, I'm bold enough to come back. And that's just my mindset on stuff like that. I don't have tolerance for stuff, where I feel like people are trying to pull one over. Then I'm not very nice. I had this one this one chick one time, and I had called up, what was it for? It wasn't that long ago. Oh, I know what it was. It was the pharmacy. And so I was trying to explain to her that, I didn't get the prescription that I was supposed to get. And she started talking over me and wouldn't let me explain to her what I was trying to say. So I sat there for a minute, and she's just, rapping and rapping. And so finally I said, are you done? I said, now, can I say something without you interrupting me? I mean, I was so ticked. I mean, it was like, you just keep flapping your gums and you're not even listening to what I'm saying. And so she goes, oh, okay. I was so mad. But that's what I mean. I mean, stuff like that just irritates the heck out of me. Well, you mean the spray foam? No, don't do that. It won't work right. Use salt dough, Dana. Don't use you're talking about the foam how I make the cupcakes? Use salt dough. Sorry, Sharon. You do? Well, thank you, Sharon. Well, if you like them, share them, please. Share them and like it. Because YouTube is not doing a good job of, what am I trying to say? I can't think of the word. recommending. I went off on a dental. Oh, you did on a receptionist? Oh, yeah. Oh, the foam mat. Well, yeah, I mean, you could do that. I mean, where are you going to put them? You're using a foam mat? You mean just like in the yard or something? That would work. Yeah, you could do that. Sure. Oh, I'll tell you what happened one time. Speaking of dentist. Oh, this is a good one. Okay. I had to have this little, it was a growth on my lip, okay, on the inside, right like at the corner of your lip on the inside. And it had to be biopsied. Okay. So, and I have dental insurance from the grocery store. When I retired, I still pay into it. All right. So, okay. I thought everything was done. And all of a sudden, I get a bill about 2 weeks later, maybe 3 weeks. And it's from the office where they did the biopsy, where they sent it to get the biopsy. $350. So I proceeded to call them and I said, "What's this bill for?" And she said, "Well, we bill separately from what the dentist does." I go, "No, no, 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 no." I said, "I have insurance. I am not paying a penny. I have insurance." So hang up from her, call the dentist, call the billing department of the dentist, where they do all the billing. And she said, "No, I sent that in." And she said, "You are not supposed to pay any of it." And I said, "Well, then I suggest you call them and let them know, because I am not paying a penny of that, because I haven't used my insurance this year so far except for cleanings. And I know I have enough. And no one ever told me that this was going to be billed separately." Okay. All right. So she said, "Yep. Okay." A couple weeks later, I get a bill from the same place and it says that they are going to put me into collections if I don't pay. Okay. At this point now I'm livid. I call the dentist. Now keep in mind, this dentist I've gone to for the past 21 years. Okay. And so, and in the interim of all that, they have, gotten different billers through those years, because they leave, they get married, whatever. Okay, that's not my problem. So I call her up and I said, "Okay, you told me that you were going to call and take care of all this. Now I am getting letters saying that they're going to take me to collections if it isn't paid." She said, "Well," she said, "maybe if you paid up front and then your insurance would pay you back." I said, "No, no, 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 no." I said, "We already went through all this and you told me that you were going to take care of it, that I wasn't supposed to take care of it. And that's the way we're going to leave it." Now, I have never gone through this with this dentist in 21 years, and I'm not going to start now. You do what you need to do, and I'm not paying a penny. I said, "And I want to hear from you as soon as you call them. I want to know what's going on." She doesn't call me that day. So I waited one more day and I called her back. I said, "I didn't hear from you." And she said, "I'm sorry." She said, "I'm sorry." She said, "I meant to call." And she said, "Everything's taken care of." I said, "Everything's taken care of?" And she said, "Yes." She said, we paid it." So I said, "That's great. Whatever it took, all I know is I wasn't going to pay that bill." So they ended up paying it. I don't know how they paid it, but they paid it. I'm not going to pay it. I'm sorry. I mean, that's a bunch of BS, Sometimes you have to be your own advocate, because if you're not, who else is going to do it for you? And that's what I tell my kids. You've got to be your own advocate. Customer service is terrible. The dentist is my cousin, so I call. Oh, the dentist is your cousin? So I called and asked to speak to him. The receptionist got snarky. She goes, "No, what do you need?" I said, "I need to speak with Shane." She said, "You mean Dr. Reagan?" I said, "Yes, Shane." She said, "He is Dr." I said, "I understand, but he's still my cousin." Stupid. You tried to share them with your. Wait a minute, Sharon. You tried to share them with your sister, but she wouldn't let me share? Well, that's sad. Well, I'm glad you like watching them. Thank you. Oh, you have to, Denise. I mean, if you're not your own advocate, especially nowadays, you absolutely have to. And I always tell my kids, I mean, especially my daughter, because she's so meek, she just, I always tell her, I go, Daisha, you have got to get a little bit more aggressive with these people. And she just doesn't have it in her. She's just too nice. You know what I mean? I go, let me call him. She goes, no, mother, I don't want you calling them. I go, I don't care. I'll call him. It's just not right. I mean, okay, perfect example. Had I not said anything and called the dentist when all this was going on, I'd be, giving them $350. Excuse me? I don't think so. That's a bunch of BS. You have to. I mean, that's all there is to it. Anyway, that's my 2 cents on it. I can get myself so I just get so irritated. Oh, then this is the other thing. Then I'll go to bed. But, okay, pharmacist again. Okay, I go in the other day because I had okay. Here, ever since COVID, at my doctor anyway, she will take, what do you call it, where you call in instead of going to the office, a tele meeting. I don't know. Anyways, where you talk to the doctor, you don't go into the office. And which is fine with me because where I go, it's about 25 minutes. And with gas and stuff, I'd much rather just call if I don't have an issue where I have to see her, okay? And it was just to renew my thyroid medication and a couple other medications, vitamin D that I have a prescription for because it's a really strong one. So anyway, I go in and I was getting ready. I was supposed to be at work, okay? And I stopped in there real quick to get the prescriptions. So I get to the car, and the one that I really needed, which was my thyroid medication, wasn't in the bag. I thought, you got to be kidding me. You have got to be kidding me. So now I'm already late for work. I go back in, have to wait in line because now there's 3 people ahead of me. And I had to wait there earlier because I have this card that where you get, you get certain amount off with this card. And they didn't ring it up. And I go through this with them all the time, but they didn't ring it up. So I had to wait for them to re-ring it. So I got the discounted price. Okay. So fast forward, I get to the car, the thyroid medication isn't there. Stand in line, finally get up to the thing. Now I'm a half hour late for work. I said, did she call in the levothyroxine? She looks, she goes, yes, but you still have a few pills left. I said, excuse me. I said, so it's up to you if I get my medication that's been prescribed to me by my doctor? Well, no, but I just thought you have some still. I said, no, you're missing the point. I came here to get my prescriptions, and that's what I wanted. I didn't want what you thought I should have. I wanted my prescriptions that were prescribed by my doctor. Oh, well, all right. I thought, who the flip are you to tell me who? Do you see what I'm saying? It's stuff like this that just drives me insane. Can you believe that? Now, why in the world would I want to go back if I was there already? But she took it upon herself, thinking, well, you still have a few pills left. No, 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 that's not up to you. I was so irritated. It's just stuff like this that it's like, is this necessary? Really? I don't know. So that's why I tell nobody else is going to be there for you. You have two. Oh, it wouldn't let you share? When you went on my video where it says share? That's weird. Huh. Are you subscribed to my channel, Sharon? Yeah. But Denise, I mean, yeah, that's right, guys. I mean, you have to. That's all I can say about it. You got to be your own advocate. And no one intimidates me. You know, my daughter gets kind of intimidated. I think she'll grow out of it though. But I am not intimidated at all by, I don't care, doctor, nurse, pharmacist, you name it. I don't care. I just look at them. They're just like me. They're just like me. Did y'all hear about the scam going around where if you're on Facebook, they could somehow scam you by going into your bank account if you do online banking and stealing money? I don't doubt it. And I'll tell you another thing. The other day, I went onto my email, and then I really will let you go. But I went onto my email, and it was Amazon came up, and it said, call us immediately. Someone, I can't remember exactly how it was worded, something to the effect, there may be fraudulent, something fraudulent in your account. Click on here to go to Amazon. It looked very professional, but what I've learned is scammers will make it look very professional, just like money that is, bogus. They can make it look very, very real. And in the back of my mind, I always think to myself, don't click on it. Call the actual place of business, whatever it is, where they're saying that looks like there's been tampering or fraudulent buying or whatever the case. Whatever the case. If it's something negative, don't click on to whatever it is. So I called Amazon and I talked to this woman. She was really nice. And I told her, and she said, did you click on it? And I said, no. And she said, good. She said, we have so many scams going on right now. She said, where they're saying either, your account has been, I can't remember what she said, but, tampered with. And so I said, well, can you look into my account and see if anything's been done? She looked, she said, no, there's nothing here. And So anyway, I'm telling you that. So if you ever get anything in an email or on Facebook, I don't care where you get it, don't ever click onto anything that you see. Anything. Go right to um, the place of which you're getting this message and ask them and see. And I guarantee you 9 times out of 10, it's going to be bogus, because there's something about it when you click onto that, it does something. And so you don't want to do that. So that's what I would do whenever I get anything like that. I will never click. I'll just go right to the place and say, has anything been tampered with? And I guarantee you most times you're going to say no. That's my little bit of, hi, easily distracted. How are you? Yeah, telehealth. I mean, anything, I don't care what it is. You know, there's so many scammers out there now. And like I say, they're very good at making things look very, very real. And another thing too, I cannot tell you, and I bet you guys have had this too, if you have Instagram or Facebook. I have all these guys coming on my sites, whether, like I say, whether it's Facebook or Instagram, and some on TikTok, and where they want to be my friend. Well, I know it's all bogus. I know it is. You know, I mean, some of these guys, okay, in their picture, and I guarantee you it's probably not them, but in their picture, they look like they're maybe 20, 30 years old. And I'm thinking, okay, yeah, right. What would you want with an old woman, first of all? And I don't know exactly what their scams are when you click onto them, but I never do. I just, move my finger over and trash it. And then on Facebook, the thing that gets me is half the time the English isn't even, sometimes it's like, really? I'd like you to be my friend. Please be my friend. I'm thinking, really? Really? I don't think so. I mean, so I don't know what these kind of things do to you. I guess I really wouldn't want to know, but I never fall for it. And and a lot of them show themselves as Army or Air Force, some military where you would think, that they're up and up. I never fall for it. That's the other thing. I went off on the several of them for impersonating our soldiers. Yes. Okay. So you've seen it. You know what I'm talking about then, Dana. You just woke up easily distracted. I hope you having a good morning. Well, I'm sorry about that, Sharon. Doggone. I don't know why it's not doing that, because that would help me tremendously if it could be shared. You did? You got your Facebook settlement, first one? Hi, Linda Gelb. How are you? Yeah, so those, and I don't know what their reason is. I have no clue why they do that, but I don't fall for it. No way. One tried impersonating your mom? Yep. That's probably when I get well, I don't like getting to where I get when it comes to stuff like that, because I can get pretty, yeah, I get pretty, let's just say I'm not happy when I'm talking to the person, but that's the one thing I just, very hard for me to tolerate is scamming. Well, I'm glad you had fun. I bet you are tan, especially because, I mean, you look like you would get really tan, Linda. Well, and you know what? More people should go off when they do things like that. I mean, when you really stop and think about it, I mean, really think about it for a minute. I mean, if they're bold enough to do stuff like that, and especially ones that, would harm you financially. I mean, we all work hard. Now all of a sudden I want to sing Donna Summer. She works hard for the money. Anyway, I always think of songs when I'm anyway, all kidding aside. When you're working hard, or you're on a fixed income and they're coming in trying to scam you like that, you better believe I'm going to come back at them. I mean, I won't back down to anything like that. I think it's awful. But anyway, well, I've kept you long enough. Now I might be able to go to sleep. I always sleep with the fan. The, you know, the little fan that sits on the floor, but I have to have that white noise. I always have to have a little bit of noise in the back. Actually, I wish I had never started that, and I wished I could just sleep just like a normal human being without anything, but I can't. And then one more night, and then I'll see Everly one more night in her play. And then what are we off to? I don't know. I never know. Never know. Oh yeah, they're always sending me friend requests too. Your daughter needs a white noise machine. They have things on the phone and it's different things to sleep by. The other night there was a rain, one was wind. What was the other one? There was another one. I can't remember what that was. But they're actually on YouTube, and that's all it is. I mean, it's nobody talking. All it is just the noise. Did they really say that? I'm stranded out of state. Can you send me money? I went off. Oh, yeah, I would too. Are you kidding me? I would have went off big time. Oh, you guys, I don't know anymore. I don't know. I don't know anymore. What is happening to this world? Anyway, all right, guys, I'm going to go to sleep, I think. Well, it'll take me a few minutes, but I'll go to sleep. But thank you for coming on and keeping me company. I really appreciate it. Love you all. Remember, the world's a better place because you're in it. There's only one you, and you bring something to this world nobody else can. I'll talk to you soon, guys. Have a good day tomorrow. Bye.